In our next session on analyzing common protocols, we're going to look at Telnet. Now, Telnet you've probably heard of. Telnet is a traditional way that administrators have connected remotely to other systems so they could perform administration tasks without having to actually sit physically at the box. Telnet's been in TCP/IP for probably since its invention, and it has been used widely in Unix and Windows environments. Now, from your basic networking, we know that Telnet traditionally uses TCP port 23, although theoretically you could configure your Telnet server to listen on any port for Telnet if you like. But the traditional port, the accepted port, is 23. Now, Telnet is considered an insecure protocol also, and basically for the same reason that we previously talked about with FTP. It offers no encryption. It does not encrypt anything at all. It sends all of its data across the wire in plain text. Now, you'll find that in most modern networks, Telnet is not used much anymore. It's been largely replaced by Secure Shell, or SSH as it's more popularly known. We don't see Telnet used much across the internet at all. You might still see Telnet used occasionally within a LAN to administer a router or to administer a server, but even within a closed network, it's usually not a good idea because an insider could also run a sniffer and find out what your passwords and things are for Telnet. So we're going to take a quick look at Telnet just so you can kind of see what it looks like and how it works. Okay, we're back in our Windows XP box and we're in Wireshark. We're going to start a capture on our .10 interface, and then we're going to go back to the command prompt and we're going to initiate a Telnet session. And we're going to Telnet to 172.16.30.1, which is my Windows 2003 server. So we're going to Telnet to that box, and it's actually going to give me a warning. Notice the banner it gives me, the Microsoft Telnet client. And it tells me that you're about to send your password information to a remote computer in internet zone. This might not be safe. Do you want to send anyway? Well, yes, I do. Okay. Now it's asking me to put in a username and password. Now it tried at first to use pass-through authentication using the password and username that I'm currently using on the network, but that didn't work. So we're going to go with tuser, and we're going to go with the same password that we used previously. VTC is great! Exclamation point. And now we're logged in. Now we could do a directory and so forth. We're actually connected to the Windows 2003 server. So let's go ahead and get out of our Telnet session now. That was just a quick connection. And now let's go look at our capture. Let's stop our capture. And let's go and look through some of the packets first, then we'll do the session trace. If we go all the way back up there, 152 packets were captured, by the way, in just that short amount of time. So you can see that every little thing you do can cause one or several packets to cross the network. We had some NetBIOS name stuff going on. Then we had some Telnet going on, and we could go through each one of those. But as I said before, when I showed you, it's actually very useful to do the TCP stream trace there. One thing I do want to show you is Telnet operates a little bit weird. Sometimes, depending upon how you have things configured, you might not get to see everything in one particular trace. Remember in our last session with FTP, we saw the password listed actually in one single packet, and it doesn't work that way with Telnet. You can see in the Telnet data here in the middle screen, the data that was sent just during that one packet was the letter S. So that could have been the fifth letter of the password for all we know. We would actually have to go through each single password or each single packet so we could see what that is. The best way to do it is to go and do the follow TCP stream option. Okay, now what do we get? Now we get some garbage here, and understand there's some overhead that we've captured here. But we've telnetted, we've got the banner here, and then we put in our password. Notice how the characters are repeating a little bit. It's probably because of the terminal emulation that the Telnet client is using. But then we've got our password. VTC is great! Exclamation point. Then we've got some overhead stuff going on here, and basically it shows where we did the directory. It shows where I typed the version for Windows, and then we terminated that particular TCP conversation. But the point that I'm trying to make here is TCP, very complicated protocol actually, generates a lot of packets just for a short session, and it's also unsecure. It's unencrypted, so we can snatch passwords all day long when people are using Telnet. A lot of hackers actually get username and passwords because Administrators and users alike use the same password for different services. They might for Active Directory as they do their Telnet session. So which is easier to grab? Well, the Telnet session. And then you can always log into Active Directory using that password. So that's a little bit of a security lesson there for you. But anyway, that's a TCP stream of a Telnet trace. And as you can see, it's a little bit more complicated than an FTP session.